If you're new to vrising, one of the very first obstacles you're going to come across in this game is getting to the iron stage. A lot of new players struggle with beating Quincy, and I've seen tons of people, whether it be in Discord or the in-game chat, just asking how to beat him. So I figured I would make this quick video explaining how I beat him and just some overall tips. So without wasting any more time, let's just get right into the video. The first obstacle you're going to have to cross when fighting Quincy is to actually get to him. When you go to the Bandit stronghold, you're going to notice that there's actually a wall preventing you from going in. You have two options in terms of getting in. The first being to beat the ferocious bear and unlock the bear form, and probably the easier method, and the one I would recommend doing, is beating Clive over at the sulfur quarry and crafting some minor explosives. Once you're in, I typically just run past all the enemies right to the top. I'll fight the enemies at the top, heal up, and then I'm ready to go. In terms of actually fighting Quincy, it's really important to first understand his abilities and attacks so you know how to best counter them. Honestly, the only ability I would say is a must is the Veil of Chaos, which is a movement ability you get from Clive, which makes dodging attacks so much easier. Once you're fighting him, you'll notice he has 4 main attacks which you'll have to dodge. The first being his ground slam ability, which shoots exploding cracks in 3 different directions. His second ability is his shield charge, where he will charge at you in a straight line. I noticed that he likes to charge right after he does his slam attack, so make sure you don't get caught off guard. His third attack, and probably the one that does the most damage to me when I fight him, is his mirror shield. If you attack him with spells while he has this active, it will shoot your abilities back at you and do tons of damage, so do not be like me and mindlessly shoot spells at him. Last but not least is his enrage attack, which basically is just 3 shield charges in a row. He starts using this attack once his HP is below half, and once all of his charges are done, it leaves him stunned, which gives you a few seconds to get some free shots in on him. The Veil of Chaos comes in handy here because it lets you dash twice, which makes dodging his charges significantly easier. Now that we know his attacks, I'll explain my methods for fighting him and just some general tips to make your life easier. The first 2 things I'm going to talk about in this section aren't really tips, just more stuff to keep in mind. The first being that it is significantly easier to fight Quincy either solo or just with a duo. If you don't know, bosses scale in difficulty depending on how many people are around. I tried this fight once with 8 people and we got smoked before even getting him to half HP. But solo or duo, it only took about 3 minutes to beat him. The second is do not go at daytime. You will die. There is almost no shade in his area, and dodging his attacks while trying to avoid the sun is a death sentence most of the time. In terms of methods I actually use to beat him, what I typically do is keep my distance and use my spells to do most of the work. If he gets close enough or he's stunned, I may get a few hits in with my weapon and then back off. It makes it a lot easier to dodge his attacks if you're further away, obviously, so that's the main thing I recommend doing. The only other piece of advice I'd have to offer is to try and get some Merciless Night Stalker gear and decent blood before fighting him if you can. You can still beat him without those things, but it makes life a lot easier to get as many buffs as possible. With Quincy being the first major boss that you beat in this game, you get some pretty decent rewards. The biggest one obviously is the ability to make iron ingots in your furnace, as well as being able to make the smithy and tailoring bench for iron weapons and Hollow Fang battle gear, which is a step up from copper and Night Stalker gear. You also get the Chaos Barrier ability, which is a great defensive ability for PvP or PvE, which will allow you to deflect other people's attacks. You get the Merciless Charge, which is the first ultimate you unlocked, and it lets you charge at people and do a ton of damage. With that being said, that's all I really got for you guys. If you enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and check out my vrising playlist for other tutorials. With all that being said, I'll see you guys next time.